YouTube, we are in the top 16 every Sunday and every Monday. We have big tournaments on twitch.tv/Dkayed. You're watching the Sunday tournament, $1,000 qualifier. It is a meta tournament. You could join if you are subbed on Twitch or if you are member joined. It is unlimited player cap. Let's go. Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Let me bring up my notepad so I know what duels we already covered. Emergence, going to be searching for a Swordsoul. Grabbing Mo Yi. Mo Yi on summon, reveal a worm or a Swordsoul, grab a token, come forth and Shokan. Grandmaster. Now this is where you want to Ash, but the Ash gets Chainlink blocked by the Mo Yi. So if you're a Swordsoul player, you got to put Mo Yi on Chainlink too. The Ash check was the Swordsoul Emergence anyway. You would know. If you have Ash, you definitely want to Ash the Emergence because this gets blocked anyway. If you think about this, you have no other moment where you want to Ash. Now, what's important to know about the Long Yun is Effect Veiler and Impermanence are no good against Long Yun. This is why Swordsoul's so good. They have plays around Veiler, Ash Blossom, Imperm. We're playing against a Swordsoul virtual world. I guess the idea is you mix two top-tier decks into one, and you become even more top-tier. Because we're playing the same deck, I could use Crossout Designate to negate my own Long Yun, to negate your Long Yun, giving the Crossout Designator much more power than usual, where it's usually used to stop Maxi or Ash Blossom. In a mirror match, you got to play it. We did Maxi, so we are going to be drawing per special summon. Baron to floor, negate the Taya. Now, looking at his hand, he's got more plays. He could Virtual World City Kowloon, playing a face-up Virtual World, then target it with the Lili. Maybe we should have saved Baron to floor for that. Yeah, Imperm the Taya. I think he messed up his Baron to floor. I don't agree with how he Baron to floored. We are under the Maxi challenge, though. We're going to banish the Qinglong to grab a Lulu. Lulu is the perfect card. You want to Ash Blossom if you're playing against Virtual World. You want to stop this. Lulu is the best one. Lulu's going to grab a Laylo. Laylo is going to be able to send a monster from the deck to the graveyard and also summon a monster from the grave. The Nyan Yan is going to be summonable from the graveyard if you summon a level 3, which was the Lulu. Croco Dragon on summon, draw a card. We're not drawing a hand trap, so you do have the Impermanence. Impermanence is not so good against Virtual Worlds. They fully resolve their effects from the hand. The Grandmaster's going to negate, draw 1. Okay. Now, the Croco Dragon could have chained, discard these 2 cards to pop a card in the field, but then you would have to discard your Laylo, which we do not want to do. Right now, the Chuchi is activatable. Chuchi can, only with 2 Virtual World cards banished, can we pop a card in the field. Laylo summoning itself and a level 6. We're now going to make a level 9 Synchro and a Shenshen. Anything sent from the field to the graveyard will be banished. It will not affect cards in the hand. We're now going to make True King of all calamities. Will this be an attack position? No, we're not attacking. Now, he did hold on to the Impermanence, but the Impermanence gets countered by the Chuchi. With the True King of all calamity, you declare an attribute, then all of your opponent's cards on their fields are not going to be able to activate. Now, the Grandmaster can chain negates, but then Chuchi could chain pop the True King, but then you could chain the Impermanence to negate the True King. That's probably exactly what's going to happen. Generally, the Chuchi will counter the Impermanence, but now you got 2 cards you need to counter. All right, fire cards in the hand or graveyard will not be able to activate. Chuchi is going to be dodging. But then Impermanent, exactly what I said. Pre-recorded. Negate. Fire monsters will not be negated. We could activate anything on the field, anything from the hand, anything from the grave. We're definitely going to lethal this field. Potentially should have Chuchi'd in the draw phase, and then he activates Grandmaster on a True King, then chains True King, then he chains Impermanence, but at least he no longer has a Grandmaster on the field. I think that would have been better. Negate. Baron to floor, pop. Mo Yi not going to even activate. We don't need to. We got lethal damage. To game 2 we go. Now, by losing, you get to choose to go first or second. Absolutely bricked. No Virtual World, no Swordsoul. Not cool. Theoretically, by mixing 2 deck types together, you would maybe be more consistently opening up a play. Did not, though. Vashuda, randomly returning a set card back to the hand. Vessel's going to send a worm from the deck to the graveyard and add a 10 Yi, adding Adhara. Adhara in the name, it adds. The Adhara is going to make Krishron Hauk. Holy moly. Okay, Herald Arclight is now going to negate a crossout or Call by the Grave. Adhara banishing to special summon. Right, Ashuna special summoning Adhara, that is. Yazi is going to pop itself plus the Called by the Grave. Now we're going to Call by the Grave a random card. Okay. I think we needed to banish the Despot 001. That's what I'm thinking. Yazi special summoning. I think he wanted to hold on to Call by the Grave for the Yazi, which means he was hoping for a 50-50. A 50% chance to not pop his Call by the Grave, to then Call by the Grave of the Yazi. You what, mate? Baxia returning the Crossout Designator back into the deck. Crossout Designator going to call Long Yun. Will the Herald Arclight negate? No. Herald Arclight is going to be holding for Nibiru. He's afraid of Nibiru. 5 summons or more, which he has already exceeded. He will need to negate that. Mo Yi, come forth. We're going to have lethal while keeping up the Herald Arclight. We don't need the Long Yun. We got Grandmaster searching. We already used up our normal summon. Baxia is going to be able to pop a card you control to summon a monster from the graveyard for more damage if we need to. We're going to banish for Protos. Emergence gets searching. Long Yun is negated for this turn. Don't even try. Protos banish, and lethal we go. Herald Arclight, negate any hand trap, mate. Fool. On to the next match. Whoa, Exosister in the top 16? Gia, what? How? All right, the Exosisters have a lot to say, but you only want to read the first line. That's it. First line, special summon. Exosister Mikalis. Mikalis will be searching for an Exosister spell or trap. We're going to use the emergency teleport, summoning the Punk Seaman onto the field. Minus 600 KW to grab the Foxy Toon. Foxy Toon is getting Nibiru'd. Nibiru the entire field. He didn't even activate the Exosister to search. Bro, you lost your search. You could have just detached to search a card before you get Nibiru'd. Wow. What? Foolish Burial sending a Kit from the deck to the graveyard. Kit is going to activate sending Nerval. Nerval's going to activate searching for a Tri-Brigade. Kit is going to banish 2 to come forth and summon Farigit. Farigit summon the Nerval or the Karass. We still have Tenki. Tenki search for Fractal. Special summon Karass. Do not activate Anaconda. Don't be a fool. Farigit, draw a card, return a card back in the deck. Returning the Fusion Destiny. Banishing 2 to come forth and summon the Double Dragon Lords. You Nibiru me, I Nibiru you. Tributing the entire field. Should have held on to that Fusion Destiny, mate. Was up with that. Tenki searching Fractal, as we said. Karass, discard Fractal, come forth and summon. And we could have Fusion Destinied. Revolt is pretty good. Revolt's good here. We're going to make Access Code Talker. Access Code Talker. Wait. Fusion Destiny with Access Code Talker was lethal. We missed lethal by returning the Fusion Destiny back into the deck. We're going to reduce the Nibiru by 300 KW. Actually, 600. Pop in the Nibiru. Open field, 5,300. Set Revolt back to Exosister. Now what? Harpy Feather. He doesn't want to reveal that card. That's okay. All right. Sophia could draw a card if we have another Exosister. Pack's going to grab the Stella. Stella could special summon the Exosister. Sophia from the hand. Veiler is going to negate. So he's going to lose out on exceeding and draw 1. And we could have exceeded if we normal summoned the Sophia, then activated the Pax to special summon the monster we search. But instead we played into a Veiler. We do have the Exosister trap to summon 2 Exosisters from the deck. We're going to Vadis right away, a bit early on that play. We're going to link off into Almirage. That's going to trigger the Kit. Kit's going to send Nerval. Nerval's going to activate, searching for Fractal. Now, you don't want to activate the Exosister trap until your opponent is about to manipulate the grave. You have to do it right when they're about to manipulate the grave. So generally, when you see a Kit, you do want to flip up the trap if they have enough cards in the graveyard to banish, which he did not. Because now that he knows you had that trap, he could potentially, he's not going to commit. He's not going to Karass, or is he? He should not. Yeah, he's ending, and now you lose your monsters for free. So that trap accomplished not so much. He could have at least committed to the Karass. Emergency teleport, summoning the Seaman, grabbing the Foxy Toon, discard a card from the hand, summon a Punk from the deck. Mad Dam's going to be searching for a monster negate trap. Halk, get Halked. Halk, activate, imperm, negate, cross out, designate. Yes, mate. But then chain another impermanence. There you go. Imperm, negate, imperm, negate. Tid. Now what? We don't really have any other play. We could normal summon the Olion, make an Aurora Dawn. Okay. Do we have another Olion from the deck? This is where it comes down to, do you play 2 Olion? If he plays 2 Olion, then he's good. Are you done? Oh, he's done. Why pop Almirage that has 0 attack? Just attack over it. Ripping into a Fusion Destiny. We got the Kit. Kit banishing from the graveyard. Banish 2. Come forth and summon a Link 2. Negate. Now, yes, it is lucky he drew Fusion Destiny, but he still... I mean, yeah, what the heck? This could have been a beast card, though. He could have Fractal, send Nerval, search Karass, discard the newly drawn beast, which could have been his additional play after the Kit gets negated. The Fusion Destiny, definitely ridiculous. I think this card should be limited to 1. Pop. Now, I was reading someone saying, Dkayd's wrong about Fusion Destiny. They should ban Anaconda. Obviously, if they're going to ban Anaconda, they could ban Anaconda. But if we're going to have Anaconda and Fusion Destiny should at least be limited to 1. At least. Pax is going to be searching for the Exosister trap. Unfortunately, that's just going to get popped during the end phase. After realizing that, he's scooping. There's no good Exosister monster that summons a monster from your own grave for some reason. I feel like that's missing. What? No follow-up Exosister? What's up with that? Cursed Kekland, minus 800, grabbing the Conquistador. We already got the Eldlich, we got the Eldlich, we got Conquistador, we got Quick Effect Pop. We have Dimensional Barrier, main deck. Do you call Synchro? You can't Synchro. Can't activate Synchros, that is. Can't special summon them also. They're negated. We're going to pop. So by chain link 2ing the Elixir, we're going to summon an Eldlich into the Conquistador. Conquistador checks that we have an Eldlich on the field. That's going to pop the Monk. Wipe out the Monk. 10 Yi Adhara into the Monk. By the way, I just have to call this out right now. I was reading on Reddit someone saying that Dkayed treats his viewers like morons because I over-explain. Imagine being such a self-entitled little piece of shite TCG player that played throughout the entire remote Duel Fest, so you know the game so much better than everyone else, and then expecting and calling other people morons because I'm explaining and expecting that new players, beginner players, casual players are playing the game. They are trying to gatekeep Yu-Gi-Oh! They don't like that you're learning Yu-Gi-Oh! They think of you as lesser if you don't know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I even saw another content creator go, oh my God, his viewers don't know what this card does? That's how you know how stupid his viewers are. It's crazy. Let's go. Vessel, sending a worm, adding a 10 Yi. Mo Yi on summon. Summon a token. And we're going to be preventing synchros. Synchro, negate. You cannot special summon synchros. And the token locks you into synchros. You can't link, you can't do anything else with the Swordsoul token on the fields. Another dimensional barrier in the main deck. Are you freaking kidding me? Cursed Outland, grabbing the Haquero, send the token. Eldlich, send the Cursed Outland, come forth, 3,500 attack. The Eldland's also going to activate sending an Eldlich card from the deck to the grave. Sending Haquero. Haquero could banish, grab a golden elixir. Whoa, what are we doing? Main phase 1, Gustav maxing? Bro, what? 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 Super Dreadnought Lieb? Holy moly! 6,000 double attack, 5K. Lethal. Absolutely nuts. Can we have a game 3? You want to special summon your 10 Ys before making your plays. The Vessel was not a good play at all. That was a what? You're supposed to activate Vessel if you have a normal monster on the field, a non-effect monster. I do think that was a misplayed Vessel. What was up with that? He lost the ability to search for a 10 Yi. Grandmaster is going to be Chain Link blocked from being Ash Blossom, drawing a card with the Mo Yi, grabbing a Mo Yi. Long Yun discarding the Mo Yi. We could Baron to Floor or Chang Ying. Baron to Floor, Omni negate. Grandmaster negate a quick effect monster on the field. It is quick effect itself, burn for 1,200. And pass. What? Ashuna, then send Vishuda. Paw to E, draw 2, negate. Now, generally when Baron negates a card, it negates the activation. You can activate another, but Paw to E states that it must be used at the start of the main phase, so Baron to Floor negating the Paw to E, it's safe. Dogmatika Punish. Punish the Ashuna, triggering the Entis, taking out the Baron to Floor. Ice Dragon Prison, steal the worm, then banish the worm on the field. Holy moly. All within the draw phase, by the way. Max C, in response to the Eldlich, special summon an Eldlich onto the field, draw 1. He has another Ice Dragon Prison, but it is a hard once per turn. You can only activate 1 prison per turn. We have the Vanity Emptiness ready on the special summon. That's not an inherent special summon. You could chain to the Ashuna to prevent the special summon. Now we have a Blackout, which is really good for countering the emptiness if we can get a worm on the field to destroy. You have to destroy your own worm and 2 other cards in the field. Does he win from a single Vanity Emptiness? Potentially. Grabbing Conquistador. Conquistador is not going to be summonable until the emptiness is dealt with. A card needs to be sent from the field or deck to the graveyard to destroy this card. No, there we go. Normal summon. Pop 2 cards in the field. Let's go. Popping the Eldlich and not back row. Okay, it does turn off the Conquistador. But he has another Ice Dragon Prison. Steal your worm. Banish your worm. Absolutely nuts. Aquero is going to set the Elixir. I think that's pretty much it for Antinony. Scoop. As I said, that's it for Antinony. Thank you. Skill Drain says you win the game by draining the skill from your opponent. There you go. Now you know. Drain his skill. Negate. And that could be the end of the duel. Just that card alone, he could win. Infinite Impermanence cannot negate an already face-up skill drain. Infinite Impermanence needs to be able to negate. And if the cards in the field are already negated, then Imperm is not going to be able to negate. Come forth Glass. Now, the deck can actually deal with skill drain with Promenade. If we could trigger the Salon by having a card being sent from the graveyard back in the deck, which is when if a Madolche is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, that's going to trigger the Salon to grab a Promenade. Promenade will be able to negate the skill drain. Pada E. We drawing. Imperm is dead. Cross out Designate, no good. We set the dead Imperm and it worked. It worked. You set a dead card and they sniped it. Eldlich, the Golden Lord, 3,500. And indestructible, even through skill drain. Virtual World is plentiful within today's tournament, which is a deck that does very well against skill drain. Now, the problem is if we out the skill drain, the Golden Land forever states that you get negated. Negate anything. That's a negate. And he knows he's got it. Pot of PB digging. We do have a turn 1 play, so we're digging for something extra. Call by the Grave would be great against Eldlich. Banishing the Eldlich, their main boss monster, this has to be a win. Sistart is protecting your face-up cards from being targeted or destroyed by card effects, your back row that is. We're going to Eldlich for the Black Awakening. We are ready with the Call by the Grave. You want to use it on the Eldlich. Lord of the Heavenly Prison is going to be activating, protecting all of our set cards from being destroyed. Glass is going to return the Eldlich of Black Awakening back in the deck. It is a hard once per turn with 2 effects, and it can only use 1 effect per turn. So if you shuffle it back in the deck before the next turn happens, he's not able to search for a card like Conquistador. Anti-Spell Fragrance states that both players must set their cards before activating them. Ticket was already set. Drain the skill, Promenade negate, but then skill drain, negate again. Double the skill drain. Oof. That is unfortunate. Having an inherent counter to the skill drain, but it's still not good enough. Going to chain the glass before he is going to be negated to make him unaffected by monster effects, which will have no effect on this turn. Summoning the Haquero. Haquero banishing the chocolate from the graveyard. And now the skill is being drained. How do we out this? How do we out this? What do we have in the extra deck? Do we have an out? We could Zeus and then chain Droplet to Zeus. Okay. As long as we don't use petting to summon a monster from the deck, we could battle, make Zeus, and then chain Droplet. You could also Tiramisu, chain Droplet, and then you deal with the skill drain. But he detached for glass, so he doesn't have 2 material for Zeus. He could summon a Pudding Sis Chocolate on top of the pudding, and then he could have more materials for Zeus. But it looks like he's just going to Tiramisu instead. Tiramisu, chain Droplet, dodge the skill drain, and then, oh, let's go! He's going to return both skill drains back into the deck. Return! Or not? Wait, okay, he is. That was the Droplet. Now he's returning. He's returning. He's going to do it. Boom. Double skill drain gone. Now, it's important to note that skill drain is like a limbo pull. If you go under the pull, you don't get negated. And a card like Droplet is like dumping a bucket of water on you. You're negated even if you leave the field. As soon as you get wet with the Droplet bucket, you cannot dodge it, but the skill drain, if you activate a card effect and chain an effect to jump it under the limbo pole, get it off the field, you're no longer negated, and that's what you saw right there. Tiramisu into jumping under the limbo pole into returning double skill drain back in the deck. She could have also done a Zeus play too, but then Zeus would have been wiping up his own field. Very good. Now, Tiramisu is a soft once per turn. You get a second Tiramisu in the field. We're returning more cards. Get returning. And we're definitely going to Tiramisu again. In fact, we're actually going to lethal. Tiramisu, get returning. Turn 1, return 2. Maybe we're going to return that background card. We don't know what it is. No, we do know what it is. The Lord of Heavenly Prison, search for the pot E. Open field, lethal damage. That is how you play around skill drain. Very good, Fictinium. If he didn't have Droplet, he actually would have been screwed. Set 3, not 5. No Lord of Heavenly Prison. What do you have, 3 Eldlich in your hand? What is this? Torrential Tribute taking out the Angeli. Very good. Petting Sore is going to be summonable on top of that, but he did not have that play. Petting Sis, Petting Sore, Petting Sis. Triple back row, another pot of E, double pot of E, randomly banish 6 cards, draw 2. This is not looking good for Madolche. Eldlich sending itself, plus you're limited to 1 Conquistador. Call by the Grave, that is insane. Banishing the Eldlich, negating it from being able to come out, negating it from sending a card in the field to the graveyard, and getting rid of at least 1 Eldlich is very good. Maxi being chained to the Haquero. Haquero going to give him draw 1. It's going to summon as an 1800 attack zombie. Now, I think he wanted to link off the Haquero into a Link Spider to get it in the graveyard that turn, because you want to get it in the grave to then use it next turn to set an Eldlich. So the Maxi potentially stopped him from making that play. Anti-Spell Fragrance. Spells must be set before activating them. Hoot Cake into a Torrential Tribute. Back into the deck you go in Torrential, getting his own Haquero in the graveyard, which is exactly what he wanted. Eldlich come forth and summon. Chain Haquero to then set another Eldlich. We're going to summon another Eldlich. Now let's see how many Eldliches they generally play in an Eldlich deck. Most people are going to play 2 Call to the Grave. And the majority play 2, 61%. So your double Call to the Grave on double Eldlich, that could be his final Eldlich. Is that a spell? Did the game just reveal? Is that a bug? If he flips that up and it's a spell, then this reveals set spells. Flipping up the Salon allowing an additional summon. Additionally summoning to the Madolche. What? Madolche, no monster effect, tribute set. Pudding Sis is going to pop a card in the field. Solemn Strike, negate. After the damage calculation, destroy a card on the field. No good. Salon, additional summoning Angeli tribute summon a Petting. Petting Soar is going to summon a Madolche from the deck. Golden Land is going to negate. Now, this is a counter trap. You cannot Promenade. Promenade is a spell speed 2, spell speed 3. Golden Land Forever cannot be countered by the Promenade, which would be the main way to counter it. It is a spell. I need, in a real duel, does the spell fragrance show that your opponent is playing a spell when they set it? That might be a bug, or maybe only through spectating do we see that. Gee, you remember that video where, there you go, cheating live? In this video, the Invader of Chaos negates spells, so it would reveal that he's playing a spell. If you could kind of see it, it's showing the cross out when they set it, so I know that it's a spell. The same Duel Links code has been brought into Master Duel. Eldlich, the Golden Lord, attacking for game. 4-set back row, droplet in the damage step. If you use this in the damage step to send your monster to the graveyard, then it does negate the attack. He's triggering the Salon, setting the ticket. Flipping up the ticket. Salon additionally summoning into the Madolche. Solemn Strike. Negate a monster effect. Again, counter trap cannot be negated by Promenade. Madolche back in the deck. That was an additional summon. By returning back in the deck, that's going to activate the ticket. The ticket's going to search. And we do have that additional summon. The Salon is also going to grab a field spell. We cannot activate it this turn. Grabbing the Hookake. Hookake could banish to summon a Messenger. Messenger could grab a Promenade. Negate. Vanity Emptiness. Promenade. I keep talking about Promenade not being able to negate counter traps, which he did have this entire time. Promenade able to negate the Vanity Emptiness. He will not be preventing special summoning this turn, that is. We are in main phase 1, so if we attack where the Hulk, it goes to the graveyard. The Vanity Emptiness is negated, though. So the Vanity Emptiness is not going to activate to destroy itself. It's going to remain on the field. So while you temporarily negated the Emptiness, and his skill is now being drained. He does not have a rank 4 exceed here. Obviously, 3 and a 4, no good. Lord of the Heavenly Prison, come forth and summon. Grabbing a spell trap from your deck. Solemn Strike is going to be banished during his end phase. It doesn't matter, though, or does it? Droplet sending both his field spell and his back row. Wait, it was not summon off Angeli? Never mind. Keck, wait. It was summon off the Petting. Angeli, whatever Angeli summons is going to be indestructible by battle. Where does it say that? It cannot be destroyed by battle. I guess that wasn't the Angeli. Solemn Strike, which will be banished during the end phase. We're going to use it while we still can. Negating the Petting Soar from returning back in the deck, which will trigger the ticket. I guess we wanted to stop the ticket. Otherwise, that was a really bad Solemn Strike. You don't Solemn Strike the Madolche in the graveyard returning back in the deck. You just really want to stop the ticket. Angeli into the glass. We're not going to Tiramisu. That tells me he does not have the droplet. The droplet would not be able to be used the turn he drew into it. Now, if he draws in a droplet, he's going to have to wait 2 turns to use the droplet. He needs to get his Eldlich in the graveyard, then summon it as a 3,500 attack monster to attack over the glass. He probably banished the extra deck monster he needs to get the Eldlich in the grave. I'm Duck is here. Into a Torrential Tribute. No way. He's getting his Eldlich into the grave. He passed in that priority just like that, wiping out the entire field. Eldlich going to send one of his own cards to the graveyard. Come forth, 3,500 attack, indestructible by battle and card effects. That's the card he's going to send. Now that Eldlich is on the field, I don't think there's any card that Victinium main decks that could possibly out this play. Duel. Lethal damage. Eldlich knocking out Shaddol. Special summon. That is the Max C check. No Max C. You've not checked for Ash yet. We know it doesn't. This is where you could Ash. That's the Ash check. Add a Tenyi, send a Worm. Special summon the Adhara. And now he could Krishon Hulk. Now we checked for Ash. We checked for Ash. Ash would stop the Hulk. What we have not checked for is Nibiru. Are we going to play around Nibiru? No. Well, this kind of is playing through Nibiru because you're going to have to Nibiru as soon as the Despot 001 happens. And through all of this, we haven't even normal summoned yet. This is when you Nibiru, and after Nibiru happens, you then follow up Mo Yi, follow up Emergence. He's got the playthrough Ash, Max, Nibiru. Let's go. Protoss, declare Dark. Dark monsters are now illegal. Dark cannot special summon. A Phantom Knight deck playing against being locked out of Dark, plus a quick effect monster negate, plus an Omni negate, plus blackout pop 2 cards in the field, mate. Leviair makes Leviair, swings in a Protoss. He's Zeus and it's not funny. That's not funny. He's actually got him. No, he's only got 3 materials. He can get negated. Negate. Negate. Okay. All right. Let's go. I mean, he actually, surprisingly, being able to Zeus through the Protoss, that's good. That was good. And he's not completely hopeless. He's going to have double Fogblade for double negates. Or, nope, completely sniped both of the Fogblades, which will trigger the effect of Zeus, which is negated. Grandmaster, going to be able to negate again. Baron de Floor is going to be popping the Shade. The Grandmaster is going to have to negate the Zeus. The Zeus is going to activate to equip a monster, but actually jumped off from the back row, so it is no longer being destroyed. Mo Yi revealing a Worm, grab a token, tribute off the token, pop the Zeus. Protoss wiping out the token by declaring Dark, open field lethal. An incredibly unfair duel for Phantom Knights. He hard drew in a Fusion Destiny. He had the full play into Rusty, more Fog Blades. What are they even making now? Maybe Apollo USA, UDF, DPE. Konami Japan has not banned Protoss. TCG banned Protoss. What's up with that? We got to play around Ash. What do we Ash? This will send to the graveyard as a cost. You want to Ash the Rusty. Ashing Rusty is going to be very good. So wait for them to summon Rusty. The negates. Very good. Sir's going to summon the Cherubini back onto the field. Rusty's going to send a Phantom Knight, grab a Phantom Knight trap in the back row. Hold your Ash. Negate the Rusty. Very good. Hold up. Cross out. Hello? Negate Ash? No. No negate? What are you gonna... You're holding on a cross out for Nibiru instead? Damn. Now, if we check the website, how many people are even playing Scythe and Phantom Knights? Artifact Scythe. DPE popping in the Anaconda and the Scythe. 59% are playing Scythe. More than half. Completely locking him out of the extra deck. Pod D. Draw 2. Vishuda special summon. Vishuda could return a card on the field back to the hand, but dealing with Scythe now does nothing. You can't he drew an Imperm, unfortunately. If he had it at the start, he could have Impermed the DPE. But once the Scythe is activated, it's done. And because DPE did not pop itself to put itself in the graveyard, he left his D out in the open to get Vishuda'd. Vishudaing the DPE back into the extra. Imperm is going to negate the Rusty. He could negate the Imperm with the Crossout Designate. He's holding on to the Crossout Designate for what? He could have negated Ash. He could have negated Imperm. Is he holding it again for Nibiru? Discarding a Phantom Knight to send a Phantom Knight from the deck to the graveyard. We're going to make Break Sword. Break Sword's going to be able to pop itself plus another card in the field. They could pop another card you control instead. That's going to trigger the Rusty, but the Rusty is negated by the Imperm. Popping itself, taking out the token, come forth and summon. Is this Arc Rebellion lethal damage? He's going to summon 2 Phantom Knights back on the field as both level 4 into Raiders Knight. Gia, this is your play.
Augur!
Raiders Knight, rank up into Arc Rebellion Dragon. Arc Rebellion Exceed Dragon's going to gain the attack of all monsters on the field. We're going to draw 2 with the Celestial first. Boots, banish, grab, Fogblade. Triggering the scales, giving even more attack onto the Arc Rebellion, boosting up to 12,000 attack, lethal over the Moyi, and that's what you get for locking me out of Dark Monsters Game 1. I lock you out of your extra deck into an Arc Rebellion Exceed Dragon lethal. Let's go to Game 3. He's got Nibiru. To play around Nibiru, we have to make Longyon. Ash Blossom negate, no negate for the Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom does not negate the activation. Due to not negating the activation, we cannot activate another Pot of D. Whoa. Moyi has nothing to reveal. Boots, special summon Wielder, making the Cherubini. Cherubini Sin, you're going to want to save the Impermanence for the Rusty. Maybe even Anaconda. Imperm. Negate the Rusty, resummoning Cherubini. Imperm negates. No crossout designate. Boots banish. Grab the Fogblade, not grabbing a Shade. We're going to Fusion Destiny, come forward DPE. And not inflicting lethal damage. But now we got DPE. DPE, Droplet, Fogblade, Nibiru. There's no way. How are you going to play around this? Pretty good draw. That's going to enable the Moyi. Pot of D is not going to get negated this turn. Emergence into Longyon. Longyon could play around Nibiru, but the Fogblade could negate the negates. Special summoning Ashuna. We do have a Kristron Hulk play. Monk, Adhara, Kristron Hulk. That will eat up a negate. Then we could follow up Moyi into Longyon. We can't stop the Nibiru. We're going to have to play right into it. DPE, wiping out the Hulk. DPE is going to come back next turn. Using Longyon instead of Moyi into Longyon. He hasn't performed his normal summon yet. It just like that gets Nibiru, tributing the entire field. Ashuna, banish, summon, Adhara. Adhara, add back a banished card. We got the Ashuna. And that's it. I think he messed this up. What he was supposed to do, I guess he needed that Ashuna ban. Did he not have another one banished? He needed a level 7 banish, like a Vishuda or an Ashuna. Add it back to the hand, special summon it, then Ashuna summon Adhara, but unfortunately, this is the one that activated. He was not able to make a level 8 synchro afterward. Dasher, special summoning Maxi, come forward DPE, and Celestial, draw 2. Insanely balanced gameplay. I love it. Hard draw, Fusion Destiny. We have Imperm. What do we Imperm? I think we Imperm the Gilgamesh. That's going to be the play. But what if they are not going to Gilgamesh? What should you negate with your Impermanence? Negate Kristron Hulk? I think negating Hulk's good. The Gilgamesh will be 2 double D monsters. He has already committed to his normal summon. He has no play in the graveyard. That does almost end his turn. He's going to Hulk in the Genghis to make Anaconda DPE. Okay. Okay. He would have Hulked in a Gilgamesh. I guess you had to Imperm it. So it was a good Impermanence. All right. We have Incredible Ecclesia, a really good turn 2 card. You could special summon it without committing to your normal summon. Pot of D, digging for the negate. Now, you can't max C the Ecclesia. You have to use the max C early. You got to max C now. If you don't max C, you lost out on draw 1. Vilmo, you chain max C. He could chain Ecclesia right here to dodge the max C. It's exactly what he's doing. by not maxing early, you miss out on 2 free draws. You could have drawn 2 additional cards. If you're playing against Swordsoul, do consider to maxi early. DPE popping the token. Ooh, we got the Zodiac Engine Chakanine into Borbo. Direct attack, making Zeus. Zeus sending DPE. DPE will not be activating when being sent to the graveyard. And just like that, DPE just got countered. He could have destroyed his own DPE. You got to think about that. If you don't destroy your own DPE, then they might have a way to send it or banish it, and you will not be able to get its effect. Dasher summoning the Necro Slime onto the field. DD Slime is going to be banishing, or I should say fusion summoning with the hand to come forth and summon the High Flame King Genghis. If another double D is summoned, you will be able to summon another double D from the graveyard. Summoning the Slime, triggering the High Flame Genghis. High Flame. Oblivion King into Zeus. Wiping up the entire field, setting Maxi to draw 2 off of Celestial. Cross out, designate. Cross out negates cross out. Mo Yi revealed the blackout. Very good that he did not preemptively set it, which would have turned off his Mo Yi play. Grandmaster could search Long Yon discard the blackout. We're also going to get a free draw with the Mo Yi. Chainlink blocking in Ash Blossom. In Clasia, we already committed to the normal summon. Searching for the Long Yon. Long Yon discard blackout. Baron to floor. Chang Ying. And just like that, FTK go, taking a Game 1 victory. Savant sending the Lamia. Lamia could send the contract to special summon itself onto the field. Ash Blossom negating the Dark Contract. Lamia, what do we do? Do we Lamia Gilgamesh? Do we Lamia into Hulk? Max C to the Lamia. Ash Blossom negate. Very good. Do we Hulk or Gilgamesh? We're learning triple D today. Let's go. Gilgamesh is 2 double Ds. Hulk is a tuner and another monster. Oh, we go Anaconda, mate. We don't even Hulk into Anaconda. We go straight into the Anaconda. Let's go, DPE. My favorite triple D, DPE, Destiny, Celestial, and the D Dasher. Pod D does not have Crossout Designate or Ash Negate. I don't think they play Pod D, so Crossout would not work. Mo Yi, reveal a Worm or Swordsoul, summon a token. We got DPE, wiping out the Mo Yi. Discarding, oh my Jesus. Long Yun discarded a Long Yun to get negated by Called by the Grave. Did not play around Called by the Grave. Wow. I think that's going to cost him the entire duel. That's it. That's going to cost him. Setting Called, not keeping it in the hand to negate and banish the DPE. Okay. He needs to toggle on to banish the DPE, or the Dasher is going to help him chain to the Dasher with the Call by the Grave. You have to remember, DPE destroys itself during the end of your opponent's turn. If you have Call by the Grave, you want to hold it unless you're okay with them summoning a monster like Dasher from the graveyard. If you think it's going to prevent them from using Celestial, but if they have a way to get that Dasher in the graveyard through making a Crystron Hulk, which was completely preventable here, there should not be a Crystron Hulk here had we held on to the Call by the Grave. How good summoning into Lamia. We have Celestial drawing 2. We have not committed to the normal summon thanks to Dasher. Drawing into Nibiru and Ash. Now, Crystron Hulk is going to be able to summon a Formula Synchron. Formula Synchron during the opponent's turn, okay. Ash Blossom, negate the emergence. We got Taya, we got Long Yun. Hulk is jumping off for the Formula Synchron. What? Okay, we draw a card. I thought you were synchroning with the Lamia. Well, they're both tuners. You can't do that. Taya banish summon a token. Reducing the level of the token to make a Yazi by banishing the emergence. Yazi cannot be targeted by an Effect Veiler. Yazi cannot be targeted by impermanence either if he were to have that in the back row. Yazi gonna pop itself plus a card in the field, activate in the graveyard to summon a Mo Yi. Mo Yi, reveal a token. And we can't summon the Long Yon. That's it. No Long Yon. Vishuda, return Nibiru back to the hand. No Adhara. So was sending Vishuda a mistake? Should he have known to play around a Nibiru? Banish, banish. Flame King Genghis is here. If we special summon another double D, we could special summon a double D from the graveyard. We are going to make Gilgamesh, which will trigger the High Flame King Genghis to summon from the graveyard, which will lead into lethal. Jungle Man with triple D winning game number 2. Do we just end with Blackout and Mo Yi? I mean, we have Maxi and Nibiru. This could be a good end. This is good. This is great. You have Blackout. You have a follow-up of the Ecclesia. You have good hand traps. Nope. Draw another card. That's fine. I do agree with this because Mo Yi's going to draw and Grandmaster is a quick effect monster negate just for an additional draw. Additionally drawing into Ash Blossom. Now, if he were to go Long Young, I don't agree with that. That'd be draw 3. Max C in the draw phase, BMing that Max C. No way to stop it. Got Kepler, going to be negated by the Grandmaster. We can't stop that. Attempting to search. We could have Ash Blossomed that, but Ash Blossom for the Fusion Destiny, ideal. Ideal. Incredible negates. Negate. Very good. Now, if we had a Baron to floor negate the Fusion Destiny, he could activate another Fusion Destiny. So in this instance, negating the effect is better than negating the activation, which in the near future, remembering that is going to be a very big deal. When Branded Fusion, we got TCG players in the chat. You know about the Branded Fusion? Negate the effect, not the activation. We are now in the Nibiru zone. When are we going to Nibiru? When is he going to summon something that can negate Nibiru? That's going to be the big question. So if you're looking at the extra deck here, we don't want him to make a Crystal Wing or a Baron to floor. You have to Nibiru now. If you don't Nibiru now, that's Crystal Wing. That is Crystal Wing. Or Blackout. Okay, Blackout. Negate! You got a Nibiru, mate! Let's go! Max C, draw 2 off Nibiru. It's a pot of greed. Tribute the fields. Coaching. How big is this token? Huge token. 8,900 attack, 7,300 defense. Lamia, discard a card, come forth and special summon. That's a Crystron Hulk. Hulk can be made with the token. Your own Nibiru is blocking your impermanence. Summon Ghost. Then Keck wait. No. You can't fit the Auroradon play in your deck? Guess not. Magical Meltdown into Invoker. If we hold on to the Dogmatika Punishment, we can negate a trap. But Dogmatika Punish, if there's a monster to destroy, we could destroy a trap with the Dogmatika Punish. Invoked Makaba. Makaba has to discard the same card type as the card you are trying to negate and banish. Now, if you Eldlich from the hand to target the Makaba, you may not know this, but Makaba does not banish Eldlich. Why do you think that is? Makaba does not banish Eldlich effect from the hand. Dogmatika Ecclesia, special summoning onto the field, grabbing the Maximus. Maximus is going to be sending 2 extra deck monsters from the extra to the graveyard. Bruh, Entis. I play Entis. We're going to call to the grave, negate the Entis instead of discarding the Invoker. Now, with Schism in the graveyard, the Construct's going to add the Schism to the hand. Schism is going to make a Shadow Winda. Shadow Winda is going to be a Floodgate, preventing you from special summoning more than once Also, the Titan Clad being sent to the graveyard is going to search for the Fleuridolus, the Knighted. The Knighted's going to be able to negate any monster on the field as long as you have a Dogmatika. We're going to invoke Makaba, negate, and banish the cursed Eldland. We already have Eldlich in our hand. Okay. Eldlich sending itself plus the Eldlixir to get rid of the Schism. Schism's going to chain, summon a Winda, restricting him to 1 special summon per turn. And I'm thinking Eldlich is going to come onto the field and take out Makaba. Bro, you didn't chain Makaba to the effective search? That's a hard once per turn. You do not do that again. Do not negate the activation of Eldland. Negate the activation of -800 to search. You would not be able to do this if you did that. Eldlich, send the cursed Eldland to the graveyard, come forth and summon Eldlich. 3,500 attack. Eldland being sent to the graveyard, sending a Haquero. And goodbye to Makaba. Makaba could go up to 3,100 defense by discarding the Invoker. Not big enough. We got Haquero, which could banish a card from the opponent's graveyard. We have Goza Match, which could lock him into Dark Monsters, is what he might be locking into. Summon Limit. Doesn't have to be face up. You could wait for them to summon 2 times, flip up the summon limit, and that's it. You're locked into 2 summons, which were those summons for the whole turn. Golden Land forever, negate anything. Eldlixir, summon another Eldlich. I mean, this is it. Kiko's got the Floodgate. Light Monsters was declared. He's locking himself into Light. Now he could Invocation summon the Agodes. Agodes is a light monster that on special summon can destroy a monster your opponent controls, but the Eldlich is indestructible. Haquero is going to banish the Schism before it can be added back to the hand with the effect of the Winda being sent to the graveyard. Golden Land forever, negating the invocation, preventing the summon of Agodes. Now what? We're locked into light monsters only. What just happened? The activation of your cards and effects that include the effect of fusion summon cannot be negated. Wait. What? What? Makaba's here. Maximus sending 2 more cards from the action X to the graveyard. I have more Entis, bro. You're going to have to negate the Entis. Discarding Invoker to negate. We are locked into light monsters only right now. Didn't summon a Agodi, summon Makaba instead with multiple traps in the hand. I guess that's okay. That's fine. He's setting at least 1 Dogmatika punishment. Eldlixir is not going to be negatable right now because he already negated with the Makaba. Skill Drain. Straight to battle. He could send Entis. Entis destroy the Eldlich. Now, if Eldlich activates to summon from the graveyard, Makaba will in fact banish it. Makaba does not banish the Eldlich from the hand because it's no longer where it was when it activated. It has to be where it was when it activated for Makaba to banish. If he holds on to that Makaba negate for the skill drain, then he's good. If he is going to waste the negate on Eldlixir, he's going to get outplayed. Or is that the correct play? Maybe he's got lethal if he negates the Eldlixir. 3,000, 55. I guess he wouldn't have lethal anyway. 55. Ooh, did he get outplayed? 55, 6,000, 7,000, 7,200. If he would have saved the negate for the Eldlixir, he could have almost lethaled. Entis, pop the summon limits. And to battle phase we go. Eldlixir blocking the attack. Summoning Eldlich the Golden Lord from the graveyard, which I guess shows he only plays 2. Did not summon from the deck. Yeah, he would have been at 200 life. 200 life. If he just normal summon Ecclesia, negate the Eldlixir, go in. No protection for the Makaba. Makaba be gone. Eldlixir sending the Black Awakening to resummon. 3,800 defense, indestructible, followed up with a Solemn Strike, negating a special summon or an effect. Dogmatika Punish. Gonna take out the Eldlich, but the Conquistador is gonna pop a card in the field first. Pop in the Maximus. Dogmatika Punish with the Entis, which was returned back on the deck with the Omega. Taking out the Solemn Strike. And Eldlich back on the fields. Huge Eldlich. Again, 3,500 attack, 3,800 defense, indestructible. We have another Solemn Strike after the first one was destroyed. Ecclesia in attack position, then ends. Okay. Taking out the defense position, Ecclesia. Back to Invoke. Ecclesia back in D. Linking them off into Anaconda. Anaconda going to get wiped out by the Solemn Strike or the Dogmatika Punish, negating the summon. Invocation to the hand. Invocate. Banishing the opponent's DPE to summon Agodes. Agodes on summon, destroy the Eldlich. Eldlich be gone. Invocation, add Invoker back to the hand. Dogmatika Punish, take out the Agodes before it gets boosted by the Invoker to dodge the Dogmatika punishment. We have Invoker for next turn. That's going to trigger the Lord of Heavenly Prison to come forth and summon. We're going to maxi draw one off of that. Lord of Heavenly Prison could grab a pot of E, draw one next turn. Is that good? What's a good card to grab to be usable next turn? Maybe an Elixir to summon your Eldlich. Dragon Ice Prison. Special summon a monster from your opponent's graveyard. Get stealing. Another pot of P. He's scooping. He's scooping. That's a scoop. We got Macabre. Grab Invoke into Fusion Destiny Mates. This is impossible to not lose. Let's swap up the scores. We got DPE, we got Macabre Negate. We can't negate traps. We got Negate Monster, Negate Spell. No trap cards in the hands to negate. Pot of P. Ash Blossom, the Negate. Now, I do want to mention this. Against Eldlich, there is something you should consider that's a little bit different than other plays, and that is I think you should definitely do this, actually. Eldlich has cards like Dragon Ice Prison, and they have Haquero. What do those cards do? They banish your DPE. You know what you do to make sure your DPE does not get banished? The turn you summon DPE, pop your DPE plus another card in the field. Maybe you don't need the Magical Meltdown. It did help out game one, but you have another one. Then DPE will summon during the next standby phase. And then on your opponent's end phase, do not pop your DPE. Leave your DPE on the field. Pop another card plus a card in the field, keeping your DPE on the field. And then next turn, they can't Haquero. They can't Ice Prison. And your DPE is protected. You get double pop with DPE at minimum. Just keep DPE on the field. So now DPE is going to get countered by the Haquero. Haquero is going to banish DPE, and that's going to be devastating. Haquero, Elixir, come forth and summon. Now your DPE does die during your opponent's end phase unless you do the play I stated by destroying it on your first turn you summon it to play around this. DPE gone. Dasher being special summoned. Invoker gets searching, grabbing Invocation. He's got no skill drain, no traps to stop anything. Purgatrio. Piercing damage attack every monster on the field. If you use Invoker to boost up the Purgatrio, it retains the boost. We're not boosting? We're not boosting? No boost? Is this lethal without the boost? We can boost Macabre for game? Yeah? You did not miss lethal. I swear on me, Mom, you did. You missed lethal, mate! How dare you! Why would you not boost? It's fine. We got skill drain. Pod of P. Digging for the top 6 cards. We're going to discard a spell to negate. TCG players don't know about the Purgatrio lethal. Come on. From Duel, a Duel Links player would have 100% boosted. Call by the Grave. Banish the Eldlich. Negate. Set skill drain, end. Okay, we still got some golden Eldlich plays. We got Conquistador. Huquero end phase set in Eldlich. Wow, like he could actually still win this? Eldlich, Conquistador, skill drain? Are you kidding me? Invoker, negated by skill drain. He's got no negates for the skill drain. Eldlich, Conquistador. He has no out for the Eldlich at 2,800 defense. Anaconda is negated, but he's still gonna freak out and summon Eldlich off of the Anaconda that does nothing. Celestial draw 2. Ending the turn. No out to the Eldlich. There's no way he's actually gonna win this. Dogmatika punish, which could actually wipe out the skill drain. Holy shite, could he have not stopped that? Conquistador, you could destroy one face-up card in the field. If he chained Conquistador, destroy his own Eldlich, then Dogmatika would not have destroyed the skill drain, and then he could have cursed Eldland, summon his Eldlich back on the field, and he'd have skill drain. Am I right or am I right? But then he gets called by the grave and loses. Got him. Okay, is a mod watching this to make sure that they do the time correctly? Almirage over the Invoker. Almirage into Secure Gardna. What? Goes in match, which stops the Fusion Destiny. You what, mate? Pot of P, get digging. Dig just for 3. Impermanence could negate goes in match for a turn. Does not grab the impermanence. Skill drain stops impermanence from being activatable. Curse Eldland minus 800 kick W. Grabbing the Eldlich. Eldlich sent itself from another spell trap from the hand to send a card in the field to the graveyard. Sending the Secure Garden to the grave. Eldlich sent a card you control to the grave. Come forward, 3,500 attack. Indestructible. Eldland sending another Eldlich from the deck to the grave. Smashing him for 3,500 damage. We are going into time. They need... No, let's delete the prediction now because the time's going to... If the match is decided by time, we delete it. Huquero going to banish the Invoker before the invocation can use it for the Fusion Summon. I'm sorry for everyone watching at home that's disappointed in a duel being concluded in time, but this duel went 70 minutes. 70-minute match. In the TCG, I believe it's only 50 minutes. 50 minutes, time is called, no additional turns. Boom, it's done. Would Kiko have won this anyway? Probably. Almirage summonable. Yeah. It was a 70-minute match. And just like that, that was the full top 16. Get ready for the top 8.